morning, you guys. It's February the 13th today, 2025. I just had to run into town really quick, and this is usually when something hits me that I want to just get out there onto a video. I'm going to try very hard to just stay on topic, because as you know, I tend to go off on like random shit, and it's like, well, what it is you're watching what happens when an ADHD person who has ADHD, which comes from trauma and CPTSD and lack of certain things in your life that you need. And so if you have ADHD, look into your attachment style. And here we go. That was not my topic. It's been bugging the shit out of me how the people in Canada who said that if we all rest of us didn't get vaccinated or wear our masks, that we were going to kill grandma. And that when the truckers went to Ontario, they were a nuisance and fighting for their jobs and their livelihood and their bodily autonomy, which the same people who told us we had to get vaccinated are the same people supporting abortion and a woman's right to murder her child. So, like, for somebody such as myself, and I do have ADHD, which I've reluctantly recently agreed to, but only because I believe I can fix it. I don't have any problems that I can't fix myself. I just refuse to believe that. And these are the same people. So for me, with a logical brain where I'm like, okay, if you believe this, then I can automatically assume that you believe these other things because they're the same. Right? Bodily autonomy for a woman to murder her baby should fall under the same category as bodily autonomy for, like, not being SA'd or not having vaccines you don't want, or having the choice to deny taking certain medications. To me, that should all fall under the same category. But for some reason, it doesn't. Like, somebody asked me the other day if I actually believe that people crossing the border illegally should be dealt with a bang stick. And I do think that. If you break into my house, that's how you should be dealt with. And I should be allowed to, like, as we are seeing right now with the people in New Brunswick. Home invasions, for some reason, are, like, off the charts, going suddenly all in New Brunswick. And so finally, a home invasion victim shot one of the 3 men who broke into their house. Can you imagine 3 men? Just picture yourself at home right now. You might have a dog, but if they have weaponry, your dog isn't really going to help you. And quite honestly, like, I have 2 huge dogs that will throw down right now, which is why they're my favorite kind of dogs. But I also have a pit bull, and that dude's the biggest sissy ever met. Although, you know, I have seen the guy stand up for kids, and yeah, I guess if it came down to it, he would lay down his life to protect me. But he's a 65-pound dog. What's he going to do against 3 men, home invaders, who have ill intentions? So, the homeowner shot and killed one of them, which is exactly what should happen. There's too much of this second chances, too much of the benefit of the doubt, too much of this shit that, oh, people, he had a hard life. Oh, fucking well, I had a goddamn fucking hard life too, and I'm not out doing home invasions or other crimes. I'm struggling to do it in a not crime way because the government pushes you to such a degree that crime fucking does pay. But it also depletes your personality, your spirit, your energy. It makes you function at a low frequency, which is how the devil survives, is on low frequencies. That's why they changed the radio frequency, because before they did that, it wasn't as bad. Like, there's just so many things that came out of the scientific community in World War II that, quote, they say they didn't really like the guy doing it, but that you're using all of his ideas. Recently, those same people who spoke and yelled out about against the truckers and treated myself and many other people I know like crap, they are talking about buy Canadian and fuck Trump for the tariffs, and Trump's a racist, and Trump's a sexist, and all the isms you can throw at somebody when you really don't know what the fuck you're talking about. to call somebody a name is a cop-out for not having an argument. And I have always known that was true, but I just, through this degree of nonsense, this is where I have learned that this is actually, like, it clicked. It made actual sense to me, where I'm like, oh, now I get it. So you can't give me an example of how Trump is a racist. You just call him a racist or a sexist and expect that I'm just going to believe that. But when you call Trump a racist, when he has actively saved women's sports from being invaded and dominated by men, on what level mentally do you have to be to say that that guy's a sexist? Or the racist one I love the most, because when he bought Mar-a-Lago, it was segregated. And as soon as he bought it, he unsegregated it. So for you to say that he's a racist with that kind of history, that's ridiculous. There's no logic there. If you're functioning through the world with that kind of logic, you really need to have a good long look at yourself and try to figure out what in the actual fuck is going on that you are not seeing. You're not even able to see how skewed your perspective is. And I get really mad because I don't understand how some of the smartest people that I know are some of the fucking stupidest people I know, and the most volatile. Like, the people who hate Trump really want to see him die. I saw somebody the other day post that he was literally Hitler. He's not. Although, when you went down the list of the things that he wanted, it was mass deportation. Well, if you don't want that right now, then you're fucking sleeping. If you don't want all the criminal, not good people that we have imported from other countries, and that people assume that means Muslims. I know some awesome Muslims. I know some fucking legitimate engineer Muslims who are hard-ass working fucking people, and all they want to do is not eat pork and, not be killed by people who don't believe in their religion. That's all they fucking want. That's what they're here for. So those are not people who we need to be deporting. But when we're looking at people, and it's not all Muslims. It's definitely not. There are Asian gangs of all fucking kinds. There are Vietnamese gangs. There are the fucking Indian gangs. The Pakistani gangs are way worse than the Muslims. It's just that the Muslims get airtime because it's so easy to make you people hate Muslims. It's crazy. It's crazy. So mass deportation, check. Yes, we need that. If that makes me Hitler, I'm fucking Hitler. If that's what that means, is that I am so done with criminals from other countries coming here and destroying my country and getting free welfare, living on fucking welfare while they plot to fucking destroy my country. If that makes me Hitler, then I'm about to change what history side I'm actually on. Anyway, the list went on. I don't remember. The only thing that I could think, it was a picture of Hitler and a picture of Trump, and all the way down it was the things that are the same. And if you ask, I would encourage you to try to ask somebody like Gabor Mate, or somebody who survived Germany's Holocaust, the Holocaust and the World War II. Somebody who's, if I don't know how, if there are people, but ask those people if this is the same. Because, like, I'm sitting here outside of a shop about to go pick up my computer, and there's nobody dying. Nobody's rounding up anybody. There's no concentration camps except the schools and the hospitals, jails, right? But I mean, even so the only thing that I can, if that list is accurate, then there's some things on there. But then it doesn't make me hate Trump more. It just makes me think that Hitler isn't what history would have me believe he is. And imagine that. I don't know what the real thing is, but my understanding is that Hitler was in support of Zionism, and they were killing Jewish people, whether they were Jewish. Like, the people at the top are Zionists. And they don't care who they hurt. They will hurt their own people. They will hurt other people in order to get their agenda met. So, as far as I can tell, if all those other, and they're not wrong, the more I think about it, that list isn't wrong, so maybe he is Hitler, and maybe Hitler isn't Hitler. Because if, like, mass deportation of criminals is a problem for you, you really should talk to someone about that. That's problematic for everyone around you. And if you really think that we should be immigrating the world's depraved people who don't work, by all means, bring them to your house, give them a bedroom, pay for them out of your tax dollars, but I don't want to do it. That's fucked. And the ironic thing is that if you were to get past the superficiality of hating Trump because he's a racist, sexist, ist, down the fucking list. Oh my God, I get so mad at the level of stupidity, because if you can't see what's really going on, you get down below that, and he's pulling out a chair for Benjamin Netanyahu. All of his children are married to Jewish people. Right? He supports Israel. He supports Zionism big time. Jared Kushner had Netanyahu sleep over at his house and gave up his bedroom for him. Like, if you listen to the stories, but you have to be open enough. Hang on. I get so irritated. Sorry, I saw someone I knew and I was compelled. Anyway, there's so many reasons to actually hate this guy, and you guys won't agree to any of them. And most of them has to do with his alliances. Now, on the surface, how can you be mad at a guy for exposing the government corruption that came before him? How can you be mad at a guy for hiring people to audit all the fucking backdoor money that nobody knows about so that they can bring their country around? How can you be mad at that? I would love to see somebody audit the fucking Canadian government books, wouldn't you? Aren't you wondering where all of our money is going? Or are you so... I don't even know what did they put in this vaccine? But people were before that, because people were not seeing shit. So I believe it's the fluoride. I really do. Like, if you're drinking fluoride, if you're drinking town water and using fluoride toothpaste, you should stop at least one of those things. Like, go get some different toothpaste, or buy bottled water that's not fluorinated, and you will probably see a difference if it's not too late for you. I don't know. It's impossible for people who see this stuff to understand how you guys can't. With that said, we don't watch many TV shows, but we were watching Jeopardy the other night, and the commercials, like, I can see why everybody's all fucked up. You people are watching commercials, or E.T., they're talking, like, this whole thing with, It Ends With Us and Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. If you're watching the mainstream media, you've got a girl who's a victim and being, like, totally taken advantage of by this yucky guy. But if you read the court documents, or follow channels who are reading the court documents, where they're going through all the what actually happened in the court documents, it's nothing like that. It's not like that at all. What it is like is that Blake Lively, who's a terrible actor, I reluctantly watched the movie because I like Justin Baldoni as a person so much that I wanted to support his movie, but I hate Blake Lively almost as much because of what she's doing to him, that for the longest time I didn't watch the movie. And she's terrible. She's an awful actress. She's so awkward and so weird and so acting. Like, he's good. He's a really good actor, and he's a nice person, and he's a very nice person if you listen to, but the media would have you think that he's some fucking sexist monster. So, I can see why you guys are all up in arms about things. The Donald Trump, the tariffs, they've got interviews of all sorts of so-called people from so-called companies in Canada. But and everybody's up in arms. But where were these people when the truckers and Canadians who donated to them were having their bank accounts frozen? You want to talk about Hitler? Like, if you want to actually claim that somebody is, quote, Hitler, who I'm starting to think isn't as bad guy as you thought he was, because we've been misinformationed all over the fucking place. If you want to claim that somebody's Hitler, how about you turn off the fucking money to people who need to pay for their family's food and pay their bills and who work? And so you want to talk about Hitler, what you and you want to equate that to Donald Trump, you might just look into, like, why is the dude surrounding himself with high-tech guys like Elon Musk? Why is Zuckerface on there at inauguration standing with everybody else? Why are these people? And that, right? If those aren't reasons right there, look into that. Look into Catherine Austin Fitts has been talking about, or Whitney Webb, or Derek Bros, or on a whole different topic, but just as fucking. Go watch Ashton Forbes. Go watch Ashton Forbes and tell me if he doesn't look exactly like somebody that you already know. Please, actually do that. Because I'm having a debate right now with somebody. Go and watch an Ashton Forbes video. The most recent one that he did last night. I'll see if I can find it and I'll put it in the notes if I figure out how. Because his approach, his look, to me, he is somebody else. And if I want to know if you guys see it. Sorry, I got off track. ADHD. Welcome to ADHD TV. There's a why. So I also think that that commercial, that the McDonald's ad that on the plane with those guys all eating McDonald's with RFK Jr. Apparently he's a womanizer. He's not attracted to me, but I'm sure there are older women who remember him when he was hot. And he's a man and he's a Kennedy. So yes, you're going to be able to pick these people apart for the way that they live their life, but their lifestyle has been thrust on them through generations of hundreds of years of legitimate privilege. But their privilege isn't what you think it is. Their privilege isn't fucking nice things. They have nice clothes and designer shit, but their lives suck. Their lives are filled with people who are mind controlling and essaying them and otherwise abusing them. That's what they are. They're not the privileged people that you think they are. Their lives through torture and their behavior is a result of that. So I'm sure the guy's a womanizer, self-aggrandized, I don't know. But what I do know is that he's speaking out against vaccines, and in the, not the House of Commons, Senate, wherever he was there talking to, I think, Bernie Sanders about his money that he gets pocketed from, and he said something like, everyone here, including yourself, is getting kickbacks from this industry. So, yes, you're going to be able to pick these, but that video for McDonald's, that's where I was going with that. I think it was a joke in the face of him. I think it was mocking him. And I think that they did that to show how very little impact that guy is going to have. I knew it was funky. So for everybody out there who wants to support Trump because he's doing the right thing, like getting rid of men and women's sports and getting rid of criminals out of our country, but who also have a funny feeling about, like, I like him, but there's something and I don't like it. Look at that. Have a look at who is he connected to. Have a look at Catherine Austin Fitz's videos from recently, and Whitney Webb's recently videos, and Derek Bros, when they're talking about the technocracy. Trump's movements are pushing forth the digital ID and digital currencies, which is the same thing as pushing forward all the shit of Trudeau canceling those guys freezing Canadian bank accounts. If all of your money is digital and they have control of it, they have control of you. Right? People are like, money doesn't matter. Money, it sure does. When your mortgage bill comes due and you don't have that money, you'll see how fucking fast that money matters. Money does matter. Now I'm thinking about changing the name of my channel to ADHD TV, but that's another day. Anyway, I have things I need to do. I just wanted to put that out there. If you are feeling funny about Trump and you don't like the guy but you don't know why, look at Catherine Austin Fitts, Whitney Webb, Derek Rose, all the people I just said, and probably some I forget. And go check out Ashton Forbes. Find his latest video on YouTube, and tell me what you think of him. Get off grid, grow your own food, arm yourselves, and make friends with like-minded people.